Hey guys, Iceluslol here, and today we've got a Vayne replay for you. This is ObI from EU West, and he's playing in Plat 5 ELO. So bot lane, we're going to have Vayne versus Thresh, Vayne Thresh versus Ezreal Leona, I believe. Yeah. And they're just helping Shaco leash. You don't have to leash Shaco very hard at all, so they just give it a couple of taps and head to lane. In terms of lane matchups, it's an interesting one. Basically, Leona Ezreal is kind of not that strong pre-6, just because Ezreal's follow-up isn't that great on Leona, assuming you're standing behind minions, because Mystic Shot can't go through minions. So, he can E in and try to set up Mystic Shot, but it's like really awkward, so there's not that much all-in potential. Nice job dodging the Mystic Shot by the Vayne player here. So pre-6 though, basically, I feel like Thresh can create enough pressure to help the Vayne player feel safe. So I would say it's kind of a push. I mean, Vayne all-in is not that great pre-6 either. So I would say it's about a push, which is good because both of these lanes are very interesting once they hit 6. Leona has an amazing ultimate. All 4 of these players have amazing ultimates. Thresh ult, Vayne ult, Ezreal ult, set up with Leona ult. I mean, they're all just really, really strong. That was a great trade, by the way. Ezreal stepped up a little too far, and the enemy minion wave wasn't there yet, and you managed to get off a full Silver Bolt proc on Ezreal. That was really smart, and that's just an example of how you can actually win the lane, like with Vayne, who's a notoriously weak laner. You just have to take advantage of your opponents when they make missteps like that. And the fact that he backed off after he procced Silver Bolts is really, really key, because if you just keep going, then you risk Leona getting on you, and you can get wrecked. And that's really good too. You followed up on Ezreal. Leona pops you in the face, but it doesn't matter. The sunlight can't be procced. And here you are just walking out on Leona. Really good. You get hit with a Mystic Shot, but that doesn't matter. That was a great job. So let's speed this up a little bit. So basically, you just created a lot of space for yourself on Vayne, which is fantastic, because now you can just kind of hang out and farm. Very little pressure on you. Ezreal can't create a lot of pressure by himself. Leona creates a ton of pressure, but you see this Leona player is not going in, because first of all, she's only level 2, and second of all, she's seen this Ezreal not play mechanically that great, so she's concerned. And Ezreal's early game is kind of especially if he misses a Mystic Shot or a Thresh blocks it. Great job burning Leona Flash there. I mean, you didn't really do anything, Thresh did, but you still stepped up, which creates pressure. She was probably worried about being condemned, and since she wasn't level 3, she didn't have her W, so she wouldn't have been as tanky. You just got another free auto in Ezreal. Really nice. You took the Lantern. That was great. That's okay. So right there, that was fantastic. Basically, you got the condemn off, and you kind of actually stacked the CC a little bit, because Thresh flayed right as you condemned. So it was kind of like a little bit of a wasted CC, but you still, I would still say you did that correctly. I completely understand, because you saw the shot to take the condemn and make the condemn connect before he escaped, and I totally understand. Wow, this Thresh is really good. Ooh, yeah, tower aggro. You gotta watch out for that. I understand you were probably really excited that Thresh landed a hook, but yeah, you gotta watch out for the tower. That'll pretty much wreck anyone. Not even unique to Vayne. It's okay though. Ezreal didn't even get the kill, so let's look at items real quick. Well, first of all, your skill build is great. Some people max Silver Bolts first. I don't really like that very much. I prefer Tumble, because the cooldown goes down and the damage goes up. And Silver Bolts is percentage of their max health anyway, so it's going to scale up as they gain health per level and build items. So I like that you're backing up here and giving them space, because your Thresh isn't here and you're 2v1. So that's smart. That's really smart. Your itemization is fine. I assume you're rushing Blade of the Runic King. Bloodthirster is also fine. It doesn't really matter on Vayne. You just want the Vamp Scepter, honestly, because Vayne gets bullied so easily and she has such low HP. Okay, so your positioning here was a bit far back. I just want to rewind real quick. Yeah, let me just check your positioning again. So yeah, right here you were in front of Thresh. And even though you're only in front of Thresh for like a split second, you're still in front of Thresh. So I would say general rule of lane, especially on Vayne, who's an ADC that doesn't have an escape, and you didn't have your ult, you're really close to getting your ultimate, which is sad, because you probably could have made a play there and lived, or even turned around and gotten a kill, is just never go in front of your support. And it was just also unfortunate, because that was right when, what's her face, Vi came up, and you didn't have vision of her, because they pinked the Tri-Brush, which is a nice play by Leona. But still, general rule of thumb, just stay behind your support, especially when you don't have your ult and stuff. It's a good rule of thumb. And like I said, you know, just so happens that the one time you did it, their jungler was there, but you know, that's usually how it goes. So I like that you're trading with this Ezreal because he has a tier and you have Vamp Scepter, so you have way more lifesteal. And Ezreal can generate a ton of lifesteal because he has a tier, so he can just infinitely Mystic Shot pretty much, and Mystic Shot triggers lifesteal, or applies lifesteal I should say. And they're going all in on you, but you have your ult. Like to see you pop your ult. Okay, you tumbled a little bit late there. I really like that you're positioning behind Thresh here. Nice, that was perfect. So you position behind Thresh, which blocks Mystic Shots. That was a good flash, and now you can just lifesteal. Kind of, yeah, I'd be scared. Like, if I were you, the vision that you have, I would leave. Because they're all off the map, and Zed could come out of Tribrush right now and kill you. So basically, like, Vi's gonna come down. You're safe, like, you're gonna be okay probably, but game theory says that if the enemy ADC is dead, you should go back, because the enemy ADC is not getting any experience, they're not farming, that means you don't need to either, right? And with you staying that low health, you're just drawing attention to yourself. Vi can come down, Zed could have come down. Like from a game sense stance, you definitely made a really big mistake, I would say, because if that Vi was paying attention, she would have rushed down there and killed you. But that's okay. Looks like Thresh comes in here and finishes off Ezreal. And now I would want to push this. So like, as opposed to the previous example where Ezreal's dead and I wanted you to back earlier, particularly because you could have died if anyone was paying attention. In this example, I'd like to see you push the lane. It looks like you're kind of doing that, but you're not using Tumble. Tumble only costs 30 mana at all ranks, but I'd really like to see you be using Tumble, see you using Tumble here to push the wave. You're not doing that though, you're just kind of freezing. So I would say that's a mistake. Because Vi and Zed are here, and you see them because you have it warded. But you could have pushed that and then backed off. Right now, the wave is just kind of frozen right there. Ooh, that's going to connect. Wow, nice. You want to go into this. I'd want to go into this too. Nice. Okay, you got a little too close to Vi there, though. I understand you wanted to get Zed, but you got this. Nice. Perfect. It was really good. So I would just say the only thing you can improve on there is you just took a little bit too much damage from Vi there for free, but that's okay. And you're going in because Shaco's here? Ah, okay. You could have landed that last auto for another Silver Bolts and ran up that way to Shaco because Zed is dead and so is Vi, so there's no reason why you couldn't have cut up through Tribrush, especially with Akali coming down and Thresh still here. But that's a minor criticism. It's not that big of a deal. Ezra ulted, whatever. You're going to lifesteal off Dragon. Doesn't matter. Nice. Free Dragon. Very nice. This is going pretty well. You're actually even on gold, surprisingly. Did they get a dragon? Oh, they knocked down your mid tower. Okay. So yeah, this is a really close game. So let's look at the itemization again. You've got Blade of the Ruined King. Ezreal is going for some mix of Muramana pieces and Triforce, which is fine. It's kind of standard. I don't really prefer it when I'm playing Ezreal. Wow, this Thresh and his like plays. Okay, that's okay. Okay, you dodged Ezreal ult though. That was really good. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, definitely missed some damage opportunities there, but fine overall. I mean, you dodged the Ezreal ult. At least you understand to use Tumble to dodge stuff, which is a really key concept that a lot of Vayne players miss out on. So that was really good. You got Leona to burn her flash, so totally worth. I mean, everything was worth there. We're just going to push. Nice. Good job. Push the wave and back up. That's perfect. And you could have done Gromp right here, actually. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You could not have because he's not there. Recalling there, I think, was correct. You have no ultimate. Let's look at how you're doing on CS. You're actually out-farming Ezreal, which is great. Ezreal has Sheen, so he's going to be doing a lot more damage now. But, oh, where'd that crab go? Get him. There we go. So Leona has no flash, so she kind of needs to be careful since you can run her down really easily. And since you have Blade of the Ruined King, you can absorb Ezreal poke a lot better. Ooh. Okay, Thresh blocked the Mystic Shot for you though. Zed's coming down though, you gotta get out. Oh god. I don't know why you didn't tumble there. You had tumble up. I don't even think you needed to flash. I would have just tumbled. Like, you could have used your tumble and created a lot of space. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely be attacked. Oh, he got out. Man, Zed is so tricky. So, that's okay. That's what happens when you push too far up against Zed sometimes. And there was no mid tower, so that, like, the fact that you have no mid tower makes it easier for Zed to roam down. But Akali went down and cleaned up Zed, and they killed Vi. So you should be able to get this tower, I think. That's really nice play by your team. Oh, Dragon's up, but you have no jungle. Okay, so this would be a interesting race. You're trying to kill this before Vi shows up. Nice. Okay, good. Akali got it. Wow, that was really close, because Ezreal ult could have got that, Leona could have got that. That was really good. Let's look at gold. They have about 1,000 gold lead. You're trying to help chase down Zed. You got Zed. I like that you're going bot here because they're pushing really close to the tier 2 and you don't want to give up free damage in your tier 2. Okay, I like that you're trying to 1v1 Ezreal, and I also really like that you come back onto Leona right here. Yeah, this is kind of awkward. Your attack moving though? Yeah, she punched you in the face. Okay. That was just kind of awkward because like Thresh was on the other side of the wall and you were trying to follow up. So and you did the best you could, I think, but inevitably like it was just an awkward fight to begin with. So like your options were kind of limited. Oh, you don't have Night Hunter yet, or your ultimate, sorry, final hour. Yeah, without your ultimate, you gotta kind of respect Nasus a little bit more, I think, because like. Wow, they killed Darius too, damn. Yeah, without your ultimate, without a final hour, like Nasus is just gonna smack you. And he also has Frozen Heart, so that's something you have to consider. Like, Frozen Heart is really good against Vayne because it slows your attack speed, and that's pretty much the only way to truly mitigate true damage. By slowing your attack speed. And it just makes Vayne, like, it's particularly awkward for Vayne because she's so reliant on auto attacks and, you know, using your auto attack to start the cooldown reset on Tumble. Okay, so you're just focusing Ezreal right here. I like this a lot. Really aggressive. Nice job. You were tanking creeps. You were tanking Ezreal. You just raced him right there. That was great. That was perfect. Wow, really good Tumble. Nice. You were dead if that hit you. That was really good. So you basically like recognize the fact that Ezreal, his build is like really weird. And you just stuck it to him right there. I like the heal there to try to save Thresh. It looks like you do save Thresh. That was a really nice heal. I also like that you're leaving right now. Like, it's nice that Darius teleported in, but it's realistically, it's like, what are you gonna do to help him? You know what I mean? You're just risking Vi or Zed coming in and nuking you, killing you. So that was good. Now you're pushed up way too far though with no Shaco. And you're using Final Hour. And okay, so Zed has the trinket. You're got him though, I think. Get him! Yeah! Uh-oh. Oh, now you can get Vi. That was a really good condemn, actually. You waited until he ulted you to condemn him, so nice job. And Zed bought the trinket for you, and you still outplayed him. That was really nice. So we got some fighting action on here, and just Leona. Okay, so you should be able to take Nasus here. Okay, you're way too close to Nasus, though. Yeah, this is a farmed Nasus. Yeah, this is a pretty farmed Nasus, and he's fed. So, like, he's gonna do a lot of damage. Okay, use Blade, though. You should be fine. Nice, okay. Yeah, this is the second time I've seen you just get stupidly close to Nasus. Like, you don't want to be that close to him. Like, I mean, you have 550 range. There's no reason to, like, walk up to Nasus in melee range. Like, you gotta be really, really careful with that, because he's just, like, you scale really well, but Nasus scales super well, too. And, like, he can just flash cane you late game and take out half of your health or more. So you gotta be really careful. And that he just had a defensive item there, too, and he was still crushing you. And now he has Triforce, you know? So, like, okay, really good condemn. Let's see if you can stay at max range, though. Okay, you used Blade. Nice. Okay, that was a much better job. You did a much better job of staying farther away from Nasus. You still got a little too close, though. Like, you kind of cut up to get past him instead of what you should have done is run towards the river. Like, you should have been running this way towards Akali, because you had Akali coming to help you, too. Okay, and you kill Zed. Lol. And we're going to do Baron? think so. You have your Shaco here, yeah. I think you can. Yeah, you should be able to easily do this. That was a big mistake by Zed. Nice job. Still gotta be careful with this Nasus though, man. I mean, he's got 3 items plus Ninja Tabby to mitigate a lot of your damage. Doesn't mitigate your true damage, but still mitigates a big chunk of your damage. And Wither is devastating, especially against Vayne, I would say. He's just so auto attack reliant and attack speed reliant. Okay, so this is going to be a good dragon fight, I think. You guys have Baron, and you're not using it to push, so let's see how this works out. Okay, so your positioning here is really good. You're withered. You maybe were a little bit too defensive there. I mean, you were withered, but like you had full health, and Nasus is already super low. I anticipate you winning this fight. You should have switched to Vi a lot sooner, right there, or Zed. Okay, so it looks like you did switch to Zed, yeah. So you're kind of chasing Leona there when Vi was a viable target, and you still would have been 100% safe. That's something you want to consider is like, as an ADC, not only do you have to switch to the closest target, but you have to switch to the highest value target, right? So like, attacking Leona was great in the beginning, when she was the only option that was safe, but then when Vi came, and it was literally the same level of safeness to attack Vi or Leona, you kill Vi every time, right? Especially because Leona had used some of her abilities already, right? You put pressure on the DPS, and the DPS in that scenario is Vi. Because no one else in your team is going to focus Leona. Like, on this team, Darius maybe, but Darius is probably focusing Nasus. Because Darius has an attack speed slow, he has a movement speed slow, like, he's, you know, also building tanky now, he's got a Warden's Mail. So, like, you're pretty much the only person that's going to focus Leona. You can kill her pretty fast, but you can kill Vi faster, so that's an important distinction to make. Looks like your Akali is getting pretty fed. Gold graph, you guys are up 7,000 gold, so I anticipate you're just going to lean on them and close this game out. I'd like to see you go bot, especially because there's 4 of them top. I don't know why they have so many top. Oh, wow. They just killed your Akali and your Darius. Okay, so you need to leave, basically. Like, you shouldn't be here. 2 of your teammates are dead. You should need to get out. And probably go to jungle. Okay, I don't know what this Thresh is doing. This is a mistake. Okay, you have a TP coming in though. This could work. I think you live. Oh, yeah. That was just a big mistake, I think. Like, there's just no reason to do that. I think he's got him. Oh, Darius didn't ult. Oof. Damn. Yeah, basically you and Thresh went in 2v5. Even though you had Darius TPing in, like, that's still not optimal. It's unfortunate there because you guys kind of didn't use Baron to do anything. Like, you got Dragon and you won that Dragon fight, which is nice, but like you didn't get a base tower out of that. I would really like to see you get a base tower. So, I mean, there's nothing really particularly you could have done as Vayne in those scenarios, but like you could have not died at the end. Like, so that's kind of important. So you want to not go in like 2v4, 2v5. Like, we're going for Baron again. Oh, no, we're fighting. Okay. Your positioning here is good. You're on Nasus. You're staying it. Okay, that was good. You turn on Final Hour, and you're staying with your team. So you're targeting switches here, which is good. You want to switch to Vi. Nasus is wasting his ult doing nothing, right? Okay, now he flashes in. Okay. So you're tumbling. You're trying to lifesteal. This is really precarious. You had Blade there still, though. So, and your ult was still running? I mean, you can't really run there. Like, you have to try to commit and kill Nasus, I think. You had Blade. Nasus had no more ult, so, like, he was doing less damage and he couldn't kite you as easily. And now you're staying? Okay, you're gonna leave, I hope. Yeah. So, like, I think you definitely could have killed Nasus there. And, like, you could have probably killed Vi too. You definitely missed out on a couple auto attacks, and I can go over that fight in detail in another video. Okay, that was a nice condemn. Ah, okay. Well, you got Vi. That's pretty good actually. That pretty much stops their push because Leona can't solo push. Oh, you got the shutdown. Nice. Nasus got Dragon though. But that kind of sucks. Okay, you have QSS now. I like that pickup against Nasus. I like your build in general. I'd like to see you use QSS to pop Wither, though. Yeah, you forgot to use QSS. Okay, well, it worked out anyway, but yeah, you didn't use QSS, so next time, try to QSS Wither. Because you can just slay Nasus, like, if you QSS Wither. Quicksilver Sash is very, very good against Nasus. Just because if you're on an ADC that can take advantage of that first rotation, then you can... It's definitely worth it. If you can't kill Nasus, if you Quicksilver Sash Wither, and then you can't kill Nasus before Wither's back up, then you're in for a tough time, but this is fine. I would have liked to see you get an attack speed item over Last Whisper, though. Like, I like Last Whisper, but I don't think Infinity Edge... Like, your build is good, but you basically finished off your defensive item, and you built a Last Whisper before you got a real attack speed item. And by real attack speed item, I mean a Static Shiv or a Phantom Dancer, right? Because those give move speed as well. Move speed is critical on Vayne, because you pretty much just rely on positioning and kiting. So a little too conservative on the build. Looks like Vi didn't want to ult you. Okay, Vi ult you, but it's way too late, and you should be able to clean this up. So that was a good positioning by you. You got too close, and then you backed up, and then Vi basically hesitated, and you were able to clean her up. You QSS? Oh, you're to use QSS. Get him! Nice! Oh my god, that was a really good pull by Darius. Wow. Ah, okay. That was good. You did a great job. That was really good. So that's another thing you gotta consider. Like, Zed hasn't ulted you one time well, he ulted you like in that 1v1 top, but that was the second time he ulted you, I think. One thing is now, at this point of the game, you gotta consider saving Quicksilver Sash for Zed ult. So I think you still made the correct play there by not doing that, but in some situations, like, you gotta consider that at the very least. So you also went pot before finishing off another attack speed item. I think you'd be a lot stronger. I know you'd be a lot stronger if you had finished off your attack speed item before getting the pot. So and I think just attack speed is such a good stat on Vayne that in the future I would basically get the QSS. Getting the QSS is great against Zed and against Nasus and against Vi and Leona situationally, but don't finish it into Mercurial. And don't build Last Whisper, basically. So just throw out the Last Whisper until later and get, a Phantom Dancer or a Static Shiv. And then just sit on basically Blade of the Ruined King, Static Shiv, QSS, Quicksilver Sash, and then, you can go into Infinity Edge or something. Okay, Vi's going on you, but your positioning here is great. There's no one really to follow up. And I'd like to see you just demolish Vi here with the help of Thresh. There's literally no follow-up. Like, Zed is too far away to do anything. Tumbled out of Leona ult, that's great. You should be able to lifesteal enough. Nasus is not in the same zip code, and you got this. Nice. So Vi ulted you as soon as she saw you, which I think is correct, but her team, Nasus was farming those fat stacks, so didn't really help out. So yeah, that was some pretty good team fights there. Okay, again, yeah, I would say like you just got so close to Nasus there, and it's something that I would definitely try to focus on for improving on Vayne. Like, just watching out, when you stand too close to melee champions, especially Nasus, who's just gonna like smack you. Okay, that was a fun game. Let me go over your questions. So for questions, you've got how do you trade in the early game? Well, I think I went over that. I mean, your very first, like, level 1 or 2, I think it was your level 1. No, it was level 2, because you had Silver Bolt and Tumble. You waited till the minion waves hadn't met yet, and then you auto-attacked Ezreal, and you got the full Silver Bolt proc off. And it was right when he went to last hit, so his attack was on cooldown, and he couldn't retaliate. That's a perfect example, I would say, of how to trade. In terms of what can you do better in lane, I would say... let's see. You didn't really get hit with too many Mystic shots, right? I would say, trying to reposition a little bit better when Leona latches onto you. Like, Leona's going to get onto you. I would just say try to tumble behind Thresh a little bit more so you don't get blown up by everything. But in general, I mean, I think you played lane, like, pretty well. Trying not to stack your crowd control, if it's possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but when you... Thresh flayed right when you condemned, so try to let him flay and then wait like half a second and then condemn. So he's like knocked up and then slowed for like a quarter of a second and then condemn, which is kind of tricky, but just thinking about that will make you at least try to do it. What else do we got here for questions? You would like to know more about decision making and team fighting. Okay, so those are two things we can touch on real quick. I kind of went over them in general, but basically, like, decision making is in terms of macro decision making, like where you are. I would say your positioning map wise was great. You were always near your team. You were able to help out. You know, you had 25 kill involvement this game. That's pretty good. In terms of your decision making in team fights, basically where you can improve is number one, I would say switching your focus a little bit faster, like the example I gave when you were focusing Vayne or Leon instead of Vi, you didn't switch quite as fast. That, you know, that's kind of a big deal. So you could have killed her like, you know, you could have killed Vi like 5 seconds earlier, which is that's a really big deal in the mid-ish to late game. That can make a big difference for a team fight if it's super close. What else? Standing too close to Nasus. I mean, I've talked about that many times in this video, but that's really important. And you just gotta, you gotta practice standing at max range on Vayne and any ADC. It's not just Vayne. It's just even more important on Vayne. Because like Nasus particularly, how his ultimate works is it's an aura. So Fury of the Sands, it makes him bigger, increases his attack range by 50, right? So he goes from 125 to 175, which is relevant, right? So, and his aura, you can actually see it. It's marked on the ground when he's like big. It deals damage based on your max health each second and then makes him do more damage on his auto attacks. And then that combos with his lifesteal. So he hits you harder. He deals percentage of your max health every second. And he has 50 more auto attack range. So, let's say you're not paying attention and you're at, Vayne's attack range is 550. And you step up a little too close to Nasus. And, you step to like 250 units away from him, right? And then he turns on his ult and he has 175 range and he walks like 1.5 Teemos up to you because of your misposition when you're finishing your tumble animation, let's say for instance, and then he just canes you and that's half your health. And then you're standing in Fury of the Sands, basically burning to death. And then he withers you. And then, all these bad things can happen. That's just an example of like, you got to try to stay at max range of Nasus. I would say, in general, like, I think you were kind of holding condemn a bit. Like, I would just condemn him as soon as he withers you. Just get him out of there and start walking in the other direction because a fed Nasus player like that, if, he had like one more item or finish his items faster, like he would probably kill you a lot faster. So I think he had cap CDR. He didn't have cap CDR. If he had cap CDR, he'd have more withers too, which can be dangerous. But anyway, that's just something you want to think about. And that goes for a lot of champions. So yeah, I believe that is it for this one. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. If you hit the subscribe button above my head on the next screen, you'll get an email every time a new video comes out.